Good morning. Good morning. My name is Sanjeev Gupta, and I'm doing a presentation for legal research and writing on Australian Indigenous death in police custody. I just wanna just remove this just to show you my PowerPoint and all this setup, so that because I will be looking on that side. So that's the reason. Okay, I Sanjeev Gupta is honored to live on the ancestral lands of the Whadjuk Noongar people, and with the immense pride and gratification call this my home. I truly acknowledge the first Australian as the traditional owner of the lands, and I live and pay respect to their elders, both past and present. So, First Nation people. The topic for my presentation was First Nation people, Australian Indigenous people, death in custody, Royal Commission into the Aboriginal death in custody, where I am focusing on. So, the Australian history is 60,000 years ago, and before any European contact, the Australian used to live in this island. So colonization happened in 1770 when James Cook discovered Australia and is declared as a land belongs to the nobody like Terra Nullius and claimed for the British Crown. Terra Nullius is actually the term used to designate or is used to clarify that the disposition of Aboriginal people from their land resulted in drastic decline in the populations, which because of this colonization, a lot of indigenous peoples have started having a lot of different issues and everything. So the most of the biggest, the era where it was recognized is reconciliations era, which is happened in the 90s. So, and till today we have the same problem of the same issues that still haunted to us is about the stolen generations, which happened in 1910 to 1970. So where is the future of the Australian? We will discuss in the next slide. So we have to go to the history behind death in the police custody in Australia. As a personal colony to the British Empire, Australia was established as a police state because it was established as exile in chains. So all the inmates and the prisons were brought in Australia, and the death in hanging started in 1787. So almost more than 160,000 people died in custody on the voyages to the Australia by 1868. So the British invasion and occupation of Australia was based on the Terra Nullius, as I defined just a little bit earlier. It's called empty land. That means the presence of indigenous was not recognized at that time. So indigenous death in country identifies as a mother country, as a vast prison together with the death of convicts at sea and shore comprise Australia's foundation's death in custody. So that was the foundation for Australia's death in custody. So the continuing history in Australia, we can see there's a plenty of death in custody has taken place. So one of the aspects which does impact the incarnations of prison of all those the socio-economical impact. The colonization has imparted many adversity on indigenous people, and there's no doubt on it. Poverty, hunger, imprisonment, slavery become the part of the daily life for indigenous people. The biggest adversity of living indigenous history was the era of a stolen generation from 1910 to 1970, which was forced removal of children from families, Aboriginal missions set up by churches. So Australian Royal Commission into Aboriginal death in custody, which is the topic of my essay. So the Royal Commission into Aboriginal death in custody was established in 16th of October 1987 to inquire 99 indigenous deaths that happened in custody till the 1989. So when it was established, initially there was only one commissioner supposed to manage all these things, but seeing the popularity and all the issues surrounding it, four more commissioners were added in the panel, and there was only one commissioner, Patrick Dodson, who was the only person of indigenous background but without any legal knowledge or training. So you can understand he had very limited scope to explore or impart in his any decisions or anything. So what happened because of the Royal Commission? This a national report was found, and the report was presented. And till today, the Royal Commission into Aboriginal death in custody is one of the most important reference point for the researchers, academics, and all of those people who are involved in this era. Although there is a continuous demand of the second Royal Commission in Australian Indigenous death in custody, but it has not been honored yet. So the issue parameters, the date of custody is taken in Australian Royal Commission to the original date in custody. And Johnston has published a very good article on 1991. And if you see his recommendation 41, he has given a recommendation that that we have to do something on this one. First, basically, juvenile detentions that have to be done something to prevent that one. So most of the death was or is caused by the contribute traumatic injury or lack of proper care in custody, and still we face this situation. So RCIDC included death in process of detentions or restraint of person or those attempting to escape from prison, police custody or juvenile detention. So the this Royal Commission has explored a very different, very big field of deaths. It's just not only the death because of the virtuality of the police officers or anything. So condemnation, vilification, defeats, deceits, and cover-up are the frequent ingredients of the official response that accentuate the pain and bereavement on survivals. So Davis in 2003 in his article, he has mentioned that because of there's just too much like emotional or whatever called social or various impact, there's a lot of vilification, a lot of things has been put down. It was not explored into the public media. So, but one of the vital point was that this Royal Commission has at least officially recorded the death of those life story of those 99 people that have died in police custody. So, Supreme Court Justice referred to our Royal Commission recommendation when making decisions about sentencing indigenous offenders. So you can understand in RV versus Covey 1985 from Gray versus Police to the R versus Rizal Mitchell. Since 2004, this Royal Commission recommendation is still deemed as a very valuable point of reference. Out of this Royal Commission, what was the best thing everybody believed, including me, is that the foundation of the Aboriginal Issues Unit. So Aboriginal Issue Unit was established in all the northern state and including the Northern Territory. The function of this and this was because of the recommendation of a very good activities Foley. Foley was the activities. I remember he was the main person behind this idea to set up an Aboriginal Issues Units where this will be managed by the Aboriginal. That was the idea. That this will be managed by the Aboriginal people. They will go to the community. They will talk to them. They will investigate them. What are the issues and everything, and they will report to the commissioner. So each region will be each Aboriginal Issues Unit will be reporting to a commissioner, and that commissioner will be reporting to the national team. That was the whole idea. So whole idea behind this Aboriginal Issues Unit was to set up a structure where indigenous people can come together, discuss, and they tell their all the issues that surrounding their communities and everything. So to me, it was a very best step out of the Royal Commission. So the role of Australian Issues Units, I will read from the National Report's quotation, is that to ensure that each commissioner hears and understands the views of Aboriginal communities and organization in his region about the reasons why so many Aboriginals are in custody and die in custody, and their views as to how the situation can be changed. National Report, page number 248, paragraph 9. So Aboriginal Issues Unit, as I mentioned, that it's conducted necessary research work, ultimately accountable to each regional commissioner, submit a report to the finding. Unfortunately, the Australian Indigenous units ended up with a little or no control over how their work was incorporated into the national report. They did very good job in reporting the situation, but they had no control what item and what will go into the national report. So coming back to the Australian Royal Commission into the Aboriginal death in custody, there is only two important findings that came out, which has both pros and cons. I'll tell you. The first finding was that the commissioner anonymously concluded to the decision that all the deaths were not because of the lack of police brutality or anything, and they didn't blame any police officer or prison officers for the death of any indigenous people that died, 99 people that died. They didn't blame anything on any police officer, and as a result, no one is prosecuted. So the negative point of what happened because of this first finding, that a lot of indigenous people and community leader and elders has thought that okay, this is not good, that this is not good, this is just a show up and nothing will happen because these people will not prosecute anybody, and so they lost hope in the finding. But the most important finding is the second part. The second part, the commissioners, all the commissioners have come to, they have recommended 339 recommendation how to improve the life of indigenous people in the police custody and all those things, which includes a vast era of governance in the incarceration or in the police custody or anything, which includes